Hey dreamers, this is Dosha with DoshaDreams Tarot, and tonight I'm coming to y'all to share with you an experience that I had recently that has come back up for me to share several times in the last like 48 hours. So not only do I read tarot, but I am a kind of a serial dreamer. I'm not really sure how to explain that. I definitely didn't think through how to explain that until just this moment, but I consistently dream. I dream almost every night, and my dreams can range from, kind of out of body experiences, astral traveling. That's, I think, what people call it. I'm just kidding. I know that's what people call it. But I don't like to call it that because I just think it is attached to a lot of other meanings. But basically, everything from like ethereal experiences to like really deep dives within my own psyche and my own spirit. And I get lots of messages that way. But I can also have interactions with other beings, and this could be you know spirits. And also, thank you, divine, for all of your protection, guidance, love, care. And yeah, I just wanted to really quickly just ask for protection as I share this message with y'all. Protection for you and for me. But this is actually a very positive experience. So basically, I have suffered on and off with sleep paralysis, but it's definitely more of like a kind of energy vampire paralysis more than like my like it just being like solely um, my experience. Does that make sense? Where that it's not like, oh no, I can't move and there's nothing else going on outside of me. Like, it's typically I can't move because there's some being that's fucking with me while I'm sleeping, right? So basically, I had an experience the other night where I've been cleansing my space and doing protection ceremonies like pretty consistently the last couple of weeks because I had some weird stuff happen. But everything is feeling a lot better now. And, I don't like to necessarily, like, give it too much validity, but at the same time, I can't ignore it, because then, so it's like trying to strike that balance where I'm like, I see you, F off, we're going to take care of this problem. You know what I mean? So either way, but I did feel called to share this with y'all because it was a unique experience for me, and it was a discovery. Okay, that's the best way I can describe it. So basically, some creepy crawler kind of like came up into my space while I was like in and out of sleep, and kind of tried to like really quickly like get me while I was weak. You know what I mean? And I'm laughing because that's literally what I did. I literally started laughing at this thing because I was like, wow, you were so pathetic that you literally were like trying to get up in my space like as quickly as possible because you just knew, that like if I had a moment to think about it, then like I would be like, it was like you had to find that narrow window because I'm like, where's the wood? Knock on wood, where's the wood? I am really typically pretty good at getting myself out of sticky spiritual situations because I've been doing this since I was a kid, and it's just something that I have to live with. And it's not something that I asked for. It's very many times I have actually asked for this to be taken away from me because it's quite literally like one of the most challenging gifts that I have been given when it comes to interacting with the spirit world and everything like that. So I think that a lot of my life I've kind of like rejected it in a way where that I kind of like make fun of other people who like have oh, we just had a little bug fly by. That's interesting. Well, it's, I haven't seen a whole lot of bugs lately because it's the wintertime. So that's kind of interesting. But I think it's really just me rejecting that part of myself. And so I have like, I do make fun of like woo woo, like granola crunch, like kind of people, and like spiritual gurus, and like, I just definitely make fun of like the new age community a lot, like, and it's something that I'm trying to work on, because I think that it's really devalidating, and it's kind of, it's really not cool of me. But at the same time, like, there's some people who are total freaking fakes and frauds, and they go and peddle their garbage around and try and act like they're prophets or they're gurus. And that's like in the spiritual community with like Christians, like evangelical Christians, you have people who say they're prophets, and then in the new age spiritual community you have people that say that they're psychics, and it's just, it goes on and on, right? And even in the health and wellness community, people say that they have like the answer to your problems is to, like, sit under this colored light for 30 minutes and then like your chakras are aligned or whatever. And like, I'm not trying to be rude, but at the same time I am trying to kind of like call people on their bullshit, basically. And like, I'm pretty much sick of people acting like they have all the answers when 9 times out of 10 the answers are within. Okay, so I just want you to know that you have way more power within you than you give your power away when you put too much weight on other people giving you the answer. Okay, so, and here I sit with all my wisdom sharing with you the answers. And that's, I think, the irony of my gifts, and I think that's the irony of my attitude, is that I in a lot of ways wish that I didn't have these gifts, but like spirit literally pushes me to the edge and is like, time to dive off, time to share your gifts. And I'm just like, no, but these, I really, really resist it. And I have resisted it most of my life. And any kind of wisdom that I have shared has been really like interpersonal, like one-on-one with my friends and family and people who are close to me, because I really do take it seriously. And I'm not saying that other people don't take it seriously, but some people do. Like, I hope that my channel one day qualifies for monetization, right? Like, I hope to create a platform to share. So yes, I'm not going to say that like I don't want to get to a place where I can work from home, work for myself, generate income from the gifts that I've been given. Like, I want to be compensated for my time and energy, and I think that everybody should be valued, right? And so if that's like, we are not defined by, like, our value is not defined by our financial success by any means, but our financial success is very important in preserving ourselves and our lives and you know what I'm saying? So I just, unfortunately, that is the reality of capitalism. That's the reality of being a human on planet Earth. And so, I have always had a very like negative relationship with money also. And I'm just, I guess, kind of sharing a little bit about myself before I get into this experience, because I think a little bit of backstory is helpful. So I've always had a really negative relationship with money, and especially with spirituality and money. And I think that's also part of the reason why I make fun of the New Age community a lot, and why I'm kind of like, let me get my crystal yoni egg and like, strengthen my Kegel chakra. Like, I'm being an asshole about it, right? Like, that is me being rude. Like, I'm making fun of people. Like, it's not okay. I'm working on it, but it's funny to me because some people are full of crap, okay? And you can call it like it is. And I'm just really raw that way. And like, I always have been. And, but at the same time, it's not cool. I'm working on it. And it also devalidates me. Like, it devalidates my spiritual understandings, and it devalidates my, how do I explain this? Yeah, like, when I make fun of other people for being spiritual, like, and then I come out and say, hey, I had this dream and I'm worried about you. Like, let me tell you this dream so that, like, you can protect yourself from like this bad dream I had or whatever. People are like, why is it that like your spiritual beliefs are more like, that's a kind of an attitude of like elitism, right? Like, that's me being like, well, my spiritual gifts are real, but those people's gifts are garbage and they're just making it up. You know what I mean? Like, that's really superior thinking. Like, I think that's kind of gross. Like, and this is me reflecting on myself, right? So basically what I'm saying about money is like, I've always looked at money and people who want money, people who have money, as like being immoral somehow, that it's like, that I'm like, you know, you chose materialism over spirituality, and like, so I'm gonna be like Jesus and I'm just gonna walk the earth barefoot, and you know what I mean, and like I don't need anything, and like, you know, capitalism is an illusion, and so like we don't really need money to exist. And like, granted, I have lived a very interesting life and I have also spent a lot of time without. I have gone without in order to go within, if that makes sense. And so I have taken walkabouts and journeys where that I didn't prioritize money. I prioritized following my intuition, and a lot of times that led me down some like crazy journey paths that I never would have taken otherwise. Like, I am grateful for the struggles that I've totally intentionally put myself through. Like, I chose to put money aside, and I chose to be like, you know, it's almost like into the wild or something like that, which thank God, and you know, many blessings to that man and his journey, right? But like, you know, I was able to come out the other side and realize that money is an inseparable part of being human on this planet, unfortunately, and you know, for better or for worse, right? So, you know, I'm coming to terms with that, and I'm starting to, I think, formulate a path that integrates as much as possible, like the balance between these two worlds, being materially secure and having a foundation, and you know, believing that I deserve that, and that that's not selfish, and that's not shallow, right? Like, it's necessary for me also to share my gifts, and in order for me to, like, I wouldn't be able to sit here and record this and upload it for y'all to see if it wasn't for some form of material wealth, right? Like, this is just the reality. So I recognize that that's important, and I am trying my best to have a better relationship with money so that I can feel less guilty about seeking finances, and I can judge other people less for seeking finances. Like, I always do feel like happy for people who I feel like do have a good moral standing, and it's not like materialism, and they're just like, yes, I'm bossing up and I'm making my own money and I'm independent, and I'm just like, yes, like go get it. And I'm so happy for people when, you know, like when I feel like they're a good person and they have money, right? Then I'm like, fuck yeah, you're the type of person who needs to be rich and wealthy, right? But if it's somebody who I think is gross, like Jeff Bezos, you know what I mean? Which I order from Amazon, like, you know what I mean? I'm a hypocrite. Like, this is what I'm trying to say is like, you know, I'm not superior, you know, but I have this sometimes very challenging and obnoxious gift that I am being really, really pushed to share with the world, or at least just share and see what happens. I don't know. It feels important to me. And at the end of the day, you only have one life to live, and I might not, you know, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen today or tomorrow or the next day, you know, and so it's important for me to at least to, you know, it honestly, it really helps my anxiety also. Believe it or not, like, putting myself out there has always made me anxious to a certain degree, because fear of judgment, fear of creepy psycho stalkers, like fear of not to put that into being, knock on wood, but you know what I mean, just fear in general, you know, but now it's almost like me holding myself back gives me more anxiety than putting myself out there. Like, I feel fulfilled when I, you know, do what it is I feel like I need to do. Right. So, okay, what I'm trying to get to the bottom of anyway is me, you know, who I am and why I'm here, sharing these messages, right? So this is not for, you know, validation. This is for, this is obviously to help y'all. This is to provide some form of, you know, this is, it's kind of like when I'm like the hook that catches the fish. Does that make sense? I don't know how to explain it. It's like, you know, I mean, you've got to cast a line and drop a hook in the water in order to get the fish, right? So it's like, I'm not necessarily the fish, right? Like, I am the hook that grabs the fish and brings it to the boat, right? So like, I'm kind of doing these deep dives. Like, I'm a water sign. Also, I'm a Scorpio. But diving into the depths and bringing back that knowledge back to land for people who aren't able to dive, you know, and come back, right? Or people who, you know, dive and then they're super off balance for a while, you know, like, this is because I have built my swimming legs, right? Like, or like I have had to swim in these waters my whole life, so I haven't really had the choice. Like, this is just the way that I'm made. Like, I'm built this way. And even as much as I have wanted to escape from it because it can be challenging and exhausting and, you know, crazy making, I mean, it can make you feel crazy, which, you know, like, I don't even like using that word, because I think that we all have different ways of perceiving the world, and the world is an incredibly magical and strange and scary and awesome, mind-blowing place, right? Like, it truly is. And so so I think that all of these aspects of life exist. Like, there's the material world and the spiritual world. They're completely blended together. However, not everybody can perceive that, and everyone perceives it in a different way, right? So, you know, synchronicities and these kind of spiritual nudges from the divine all come to us in different ways, different forms, doses, da 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 da, right? So it's all very individual. So I think that, you know, some people, I really hate to ramble, but anyway, what I'm trying to say is that some people end up in the depths of the waters and they can't come back to land, right? And then some people are just completely land walkers and they just can't, they don't even dip their toes in, right? So there's a spectrum and there's everybody in between. You know, typically we would look at people in the depths as like schizophrenics, right? Or we would look at people who are land walkers as being like, you know, really like shallow kind of like materialistic people or whatever, right? Like, they don't see the spiritual side of life. So I feel like I'm kind of right there in the middle, and I think that that's entirely my purpose, right? Is to bridge the gap between these two worlds. So it's called being liminal. It's a very challenging place to be. It's the bridge. It's what holds the weight, and, you know, all that sort of thing. So to the experience, and I really appreciate for everybody who's stuck it out this far to hear about this experience, and also just to hear a little bit more about me. So basically, like I said, I was in and out of sleep, and some creepy crawler was like, boo, 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 and like tried to come up in my space. I felt it from a million miles away. And then as soon as the energy was on me, I literally started laughing at it. And I've never done that before in my life, but it was like something guided me, like spirit guided me as to like how to take away this thing's power. And I was just like, and I literally just like pulled it off of me. Like, I literally peeled its little like spirit arms off me. I was like, laughed at it, and it dissipated and went away. And that's like the quickest that I've ever gotten out of that kind of experience, because like I said, this has happened to me plenty of times before, and I think unfortunately that does happen when, you know, you're kind of like that lantern in the dark, and it's like moths to a flame and yada yada. That's why you gotta protect yourself, and also have faith in your own strength, right? And be, remember your capabilities, and also remember that this divine has your back. You know what I mean? 100%. And so just know that, you know, you're strong enough to get past this. But the laughing thing, I don't know why that was so significant. It was such a significant experience because, like I said, I've never done that before as a way to combat that. Like, you know what I mean? But there is a particular way out of that, and I would love to get deeper into it another time. But I will share that there is a particular way of interacting with that type of energy that will reduce its power, and you're actually able to kind of come out from underneath it, so to speak. You just, first off, you reject it, right? And then you have to try and overcome your fear of it, right? So I think that's a big part of it, is being able to kind of like make it it's complicated because it's a very nuanced thing, and it's incredibly difficult, but basically, I just needed to share that with y'all, and I guess share quite a bit more so than what I was expecting to share just now. So, you know, I honestly thought this was going to be like a 5-minute video, just sharing that experience only, but I am feeling like it's time for me to wrap it up. So I will definitely do more videos like this to talk more about my dreams. That's part of the reason why, you know, my channel name is what it is. So I will come on here and share a little bit more often with y'all. I actually prayed to have less dreams, and it actually worked for the first time, I think, in my life. And so I'm actually having a little less dreams lately, which is nice because I sometimes will have really, really intense dreams, and it gets, like I said, very exhausting. So anyway, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in. And if you made it this far, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to support me and my channel growing. I am new to YouTube, but I've been reading tarot and, like I was sharing with you, dreaming for a long time. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here and share these messages. So if you appreciated it, please let me know. So thank you. Bye.